Welcome to the doctor's office. I'm the American Scotch doctor, Dr. Dave, and here I have sitting the smallest bottle of Macallan that you're likely to find. A bottle of 12-year-old Highland single malt. Matured exclusively in sherry casks. Macallan is technically, on the bottle, it says that it is a Highland single malt. If you dig deep into the history of Macallan, they prefer to be called a Speyside region single malt. One of the smallest regions, but the largest producing regions of all of Scotland. Actually, I believe 60 to 65% of production comes directly out of the Speyside region. Roughly 23-25% comes out of the Highlands, about 5 to 6% comes out of the Lowlands and Islay. If you look off to the side, you're going to have several areas like the Isle of Skye, Mull, and then the last one, Campbelltown, which is 1% of the production being pushed out, which you've got Springbank down there, you've got Kilkerran, you've got Glen Scotia. But this is actually my very first bottle of Macallan. I really didn't want to buy Macallan, but I saw they had a little Macallan, 50 centiliters, I think this is, or 50 milliliters. It's so pretty on the nose. That is like such a good smelling whiskey. I can't believe that I haven't had Macallan until now. This is 43% alcohol by volume. This is not a natural color to my knowledge because they are not saying it on the website. They're not saying it on the side of the bottle. Even on the big bottles, they don't say anything about the color, and it has been chill filtered. I didn't want to drink this because I was scared that when I took the drink that it wasn't going to represent or be as good as what I'm smelling on the nose. There's toffee in here. It's spicy. There's dried fruit, fresh dried fruit, not just like a dried raisin that was sitting in your cupboard. We're talking, these are still, they look still like they're moist. Overripe banana. I like that one. I'm not a big fan normally of bananas, but a little bit ripe, like, you know, when they get a little bit brown, you go, I don't know about that banana, but this, because of the sweetness of the dried fruit in the back, and then this little bit, this touch of banana with the toffee. I'm gonna go ahead and try this neat. It's a little bit hard to tell what's going on with the arrival when it's neat without any added water. It's still very good, but once just a little bit of water is added to this, and I noticed last night it's not a whole lot that needs added, and it also scared me to add too much because I have such a small amount. I have so much I want to say about this. I think because I was so surprised at the quality of this. Why I'm so surprised about the quality is really kind of silly, because I should know. I mean, if it's one of the #1 producers, that they're doing something right. So I just got a little bit of mint, lime, still some of the dried fruit. It's interesting, it actually, to me, it smells a little bit more perfumey once the water's added, rather than rich dried fruit. With a little bit of water, it makes it a little bit more palatable here. I'm tasting kind of a sweet berry jam, like a raspberry jam, like cherry, maybe a cherry raspberry mixed together, like a real sweet jam. It's a little spicy, it's a little sharp. It comes on initially like a young whiskey. Now as it develops, the sweetness starts to change and mellow into somewhat spicy European oak notes. But also, it starts to show its maturity as it develops into the finish. The finish, it's really quite prolonged. A good whiskey, it's once you've put that glass down or once you've taken that drink and you've sat for a moment and the whiskey has cleared your mouth and you've swallowed it already and you're noticing what you're tasting afterwards. And oak, spicy European oak, really is running the show here right now. Not too sweet of oak, it's more of a spicy oak. And here, this is really where it starts to show its age of 12 years old. And honestly, it could almost fool me to make me believe it's a little bit older of a whiskey. I think they've done a really good job here. I would buy this just for the smell. I mean, I would hope that it tastes really, really good, but the nose, I could just sit here walking around with this glass and not even drink it for a while, or not even drink it at all. Like, I really can't believe that this is the first bottle I bought, and it'll probably be the last one I buy for a little while, because there's so many different kinds of scotches out there, and I'm not necessarily interested in supporting Macallan, the company itself. I'm sorry to say that, but my one bottle being purchased isn't necessarily going to hurt them. Now, if I talk about this too much, it might. Are they making a great product? Yes. Should you try this? Yes. It is a little pricier for being a 12-year-old. I know that. I think this is something around $70. I shouldn't say that too soon without walking. At least in Michigan, this is kind of a pricier bottle to get your hands on a bottle of Macallan. It's something I would try it with your friends. Maybe if you got 2, 3, 4 guys going in after the coronavirus is over, and you guys want to split it. I think that's a good way to go about it and have a whiskey tasting with it and just sit down with it and see what you think of it. Don't let your prejudice make you not drink a certain whiskey. There's a lot of whiskeys that I haven't tried because this or that about it. I've avoided these big name whiskeys because I wanted to go and try what other people weren't even monkeying with. I don't want to say this is simple, but it's easy access. It's 43%. It's not 46% or greater, which I'm normally looking for. You don't have Scotch mist in here, from it being unchill filtered, which just, if anything, is going to give you more flavor and more viscosity. And I'd let this glass set for about 7 to 10 minutes before I started filming this. So, because usually you'll hear me say it, a minute in the glass for every year in the cask. And I truly believe that with a sherried whiskey. I truly believe that, especially if it's been exclusively matured in sherry, because that means that it's been sitting in heavily, what's the word? Tannic? It can be tannic? I think that's the word. If that's not the word, I'm going to remove this from the video. Kind of bitey. That's the word. Almost after, if you've brewed your tea for too long, it can almost seem like that when you first pour a glass. Because right when I started drinking this, it's actually evolved. And I know that I added some water to it, but from the moment when I first started drinking this with a little bit of water, it's absolutely changed. You'd think I was sloshing around liquorized fruit jam. It's good stuff. Tell your friends. Might as well try Macallan 12-year-old. Now there's a difference between the 12-year-old. This is exclusively in sherry, and they do have, I don't know if they call it a double wood or double oak or 2 oak. It's matured in American oak, and it's actually in a blue. This is in the big bottle. I think this is going to be, it's going to have this like burgundy look to it. In the double wood, it's going to be not that it even matters, but a blue container. So don't be fooled. They have a few different 12-year-olds, at least 2 that I know of. So I can't believe what I'm about to rate this. And I know it's not that high. My script score is 87 out of 100. I was hoping I was going to get to rate this at 84. I really was. And if this was non-chill filtered, natural color, 46%. Heck, give me this in 50%. This would be an 89%. This would be 89 out of 100 to me. The next video is going to be a peated whiskey. I do know that. It's going to be a peated whiskey from Islay, and it's not Laphroaig. Subscribe. Share it with your friends. Thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. That's the big one. Let me get my hand out of my face. Don't forget to subscribe. At least I got a lot more whiskey in my cupboard. See you next time with a bottle of Islay whiskey. What am I doing? Am I going to take a nap? Good job, Macallan 12.